Now, there is growing anger between the Ghana Grid Company, GRIDCo, and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, over the former's decision to invade ECG's territory and sell power for industrial use. JoyNews is learning that the development affects cooperation among the utility producers with dire consequences if not immediately addressed. As JoyNews understands, the two entities have complained to the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, demanding a resolution to the matter. At the heart of the simmering discontent is the unpaid 1 billion cedi ECG owes GRIDCo. The company, which is currently replacing obsolete transmission lines on major lines in the country for reliable and sustainable power supply, requires an additional $350 million to complete the project. Well, we're joined via Zoom by the Executive Director of the Institute of Energy Security, Nana Emuasi with some analysis, the 7th rather, with some analysis on this development. We're so grateful, sir, that you joined us. What do you make of the growing tension between these two power entities?
Well, and it's not really a good news because when you have key players in the sector, having issues with each other become a cause for concern. ECG is a distributor and ensure that customers receive power that's generated from the plant, while GRIDCo is a transmitter, the supposed transporter of the power from the generating plants and to ECG or NETCO to distribute to customers. These are two critical players, and we don't expect them to have any challenges of this nature. And so, as we hear that it's on the decks of the minister, we hope that it will be addressed as soon as possible in order not to affect the reliability of power supply in the system and not generate any debts, extra debts or fiscal burden on the country as well.
Well, you are an expert. You have, reviewed situations as they happen on the ground. Is that really an invasion into ECG's field of play by GRIDCo?
Well, not any we know of, because what we understand is that GRIDCo will just move power for bulk consumers as well as for ECG or NETCO. In time past, some companies like the mines and VACO have received their power directly from GRIDCo and being supplied by the power generators themselves without any ECG involvement. Also, ATL is a typical example. And so GRIDCo has the right not to sell power, but to move power directly to bulk consumers and receive the transmission service charges from these bulk consumers and not the ECG. And so these bulk consumers are normally on 11 kVA to about 34.5 kVA transmission lines. But then what is currently happening, as we find out, is that because of the huge debts owed by ECG to GRIDCo, when some of these customers, bulk customers, when they could have gone through ECG first before going to GRIDCo, when they approach GRIDCo is ready to serve them on the bulk lines and ensure that they receive their money, so that extra debts are not created on the stream when they have to go through the ECG. And to clarify all this issue, we need to revert to the National Electricity Grid Code. That will determine exactly, and that will clarify what each player can do in order not to generate any conflicts going forward.
Also, going forward, how can we, forestall any challenges regarding the operational efficiency as well as the monetary implications in the medium to long term?
Well, the Energy Commission is the owner of the entire system, and both ECG and GRIDCo serve under the Energy Commission, and so they will be in a better position to do that. As well as the PRC, they determine the pricing and the transmission and distribution revenues in there. It's important, but ultimately, the National Electricity Grid Code is what these two entities that I've mentioned would look at and settle this amicably and as soon as possible, so we escape some of these incidents in the future.
Nana Mwasi, the 72nd Director of the Institute of Energy Security, we're so grateful that you joined us.